Oh my days, he's there. I don't think he's got TCAS turned on. Like, it's funny if me and Dan do that, but not this. Hello everybody, welcome to Chaz Draycott Media, and welcome to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is a bit of an odd combination for those of you that know your operations at Liverpool Airport. Anyway, just going to explain what we're going to be doing over the next few episodes. This is Volanta. As you would have all seen many times, Volanta's amazing, shows you where people are flying online. The grey ones are VATSIM, blue ones are Volanta. Sometimes you get a bit of both. It's a brilliant bit of kit. We're going to be Air France 7 Charlie Delta today in Foxtrot Golf Romeo Hotel Bravo, the Airbus A319, the Fenix Airbus A319, which I'm a bit happy to be back in after flying the 737 a few times and getting it very, very wrong. But I have a lot of aircraft, and what I tend to do is in here I list all the aircraft that I've got liveries for, and I've got all of these, and I plan on flying every single one of these at some point. I've got 87 aircraft ready to fly, and what I've done is make a massive spreadsheet off camera, and I've even got GCDMA in there, look for some VFR stuff, and I'm going to be flying each of these aircraft at least once. So I've done a route similar to what these aircraft might fly, or a route that I just fancy flying. Today, we are going to be going from Liverpool in the United Kingdom to Paris Orly. It's an airport I've flown to a few times already, admittedly, here on Microsoft Flight Simulator, but I wanted to do a few more French operations in the A319, and we're going to be going to Orly in it today. We're on the ground here at stand 40. We are going to be on VATSIM today as well, and I've got my usual scratch pad and... what are these things called? What are they called? Clipboards. For the checklists and so on. This is the Airbus A319 CFM laden GRHB. Gorgeous little thing. Look how wide it is compared to how long it is. It's absolutely epic. Pretty sure I've got free scenery here at Liverpool, but the GSX profile is loaded in as well. Let me get connected to VATSIM. I had some problems with this last time where we were Ryanair 9 Charlie Delta because the models weren't working, basically. I'm hoping it's going to work this time round. Let's just do a quick check of... Yep. That's going to... Yeah. We've got stuff on at Manchester. Tower, ground and delivery is on at Manchester, but I don't think that's going to affect us. But what we're going to be doing is hopping into the A319 and enjoying a little hop over the pond today. So, let's just get the checklist up. We're here on stand 40. So first thing we want to do is put batteries 1 and 2 on. Then the external power goes on. APU master switch. Then a few seconds later we get the APU start switch on. And then APU bleed. Banging. Crew oxygen supply adheres to nav. Excuse me, adheres to nav I said. And then we have the nav and logo light which comes on. We're going to put that on 2. Strobe goes to auto. Seatbelt signs and no smoking signs. Come on. Emergency exits get armed. Love that button. Or switch. And then we have the fire tests which we'll do up at the top in just a moment's time. I want to get GSX boarding everybody. Now we're going to operate some stairs. It's going to ask us which of the... Oh, we've got Swissport today. Oh, hello. That's a little beep that we usually get. So that means now we can do our fire tests up yonder. It's going to be loud. I did turn the audio up last time I did a flight sim video because I noticed in some of them it was really, really quiet. Doesn't look to me like there's anybody else here on the ground at Liverpool at the moment, so it's nice and quiet. We're going to request boarding now. Boarding is requested. It does keep telling me that GSX is out of date, and it really shouldn't be, because I updated it literally this morning, so I don't know if I've got some sort of issue with it or what. Still, we're going to carry on here. We want to do the fuel pumps, and then the flight directors are going to come on as well. Let's get back down here. Flight directors are on, which is fine. What else do we need to do then at this point? Fuel quantity, barrow. We need to set the barrow. Let's not attach the tug now. Let's check on here. Import the information from SimBrief, QNH 1008 today. I've actually changed it now. Somebody mentioned in the comments that you can have these like this. I was just about to say I've changed it so they both work in unison. That's something... No, excuse me. That's something you can set up on here, which is in config. Then it is controls, I believe. No, it's not in controls. Oh, actually, no. I think it's on here. Sim settings. Yes, it's in here. Cabin. No. Controls. Barrow control. There you go. Linked. So now if I change one of these, this one here, watch this one. Yeah, they do it at the same time. Saves it beeping at me, and it, saves it being a longer job than it needs to be. Then we set up the MCDU and do our takeoff data. We're going to go to ATSU, and then we're going to go AOC menu, and then we're going to do... Actually, no, can you not just do an init request? I was thinking of the fly-by-wire again there. Put constraints on, because that's something I normally do. We'll look at the charts in a minute and get the altitude for the departures. I'll load that up in the meantime. 4,000 sound. Passengers are starting to board now. Just going to check what else we need to have sorted in here, so give me a second. Just setting up the MCDU and everything in here now while everyone's getting on board. We've got our departure. We're going to be on runway 27 today, the Bart 1 Tango departure. Let's pop that in there. And then for our arrival at LFPO, I'm just going to check on the charts again. We are at the Bob's 9 Whiskey arrival. And that is going to be for, I believe, ILS runway 25. Let me just make sure that's right again. Yes, ILS 25. Bob's 9 Whiskey. Transition, approach vias, I think it's Bobsa, or is it OD7W? I recognise that. Yeah, OD7 Whiskey. Check there's no discontinuities. There might be one just before the end. I'll show you why in a second. Yeah, manual. Too steep path. Hello. Okay, so what I was going to say is usually near the end of the flight here, you have to do a bit of vectoring, so you just go this way and around. PO615 to CI25, yeah, that's fine. Let's check how boarding's going, shall we? I feel sorry for those last few people that were the only last ones to come onto there. The cargo doors are now opening again, apparently. No, don't want those open. We need to get our takeoff data set. Let's make sure that's here in perf. Yeah, we've got V-speeds, V128, VR is 128, and then 132. Make sure it's got the right cruise altitude in here. Oh, there's the bong from GSX to tell us that we are done. Are we on Unicom? Yeah, we're on Unicom 122.8 on the radios. And there's not much else to say. Boarding's all done. We've got everything all sorted up here. Turn the external power off now, actually, because we've got the APU available. And I believe we should be ready for pushback anytime soon. Don't think there's anybody coming in at Liverpool. Just checking on here. Doesn't look like we have anyone coming in, so we should be all golden. We're stand 40. I'm going to ask GSX to get rid of the stairs, which will go from our left-hand side here.
2 hours later.
Or it should. What on God's earth? Is boarding not completed? Yeah, boarding completed. Actions closed 2 left. Do I have to do... I didn't have to close the doors manually earlier. Oh well. Now the stairs will disappear, I imagine. Yeah, there they go. Okay. Fair enough. And then we can prepare for pushback and departure. Just checking what else we need to have ready, basically. Beacon light needs to come on. Thrust levers are definitely in idle. Parking brake is set. APU is on. External power is disconnected. So, let's get our beacon light on, shall we? And let's prepare to go. Here's our guy. Not interrupting pushback.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Just had a look, and there's another aircraft spawned in over there. EasyJet don't park there, though, mate, I'm afraid. I don't think they do anyway. Liverpool traffic, Air France 7 Charlie Delta pushing back stand 40, Liverpool traffic. Now we're going to be on runway 27, so what we need to do is go all the way down to the other end of the runway. So we're going to push back facing east, so we're going to go nose right, tail left. No, nose left, tail right, Jesus, on Victor, and then Alpha. So I'm going to write that down on my scratch pad here. So nose left, tail right.
Release parking brakes.
Parking brake is off.
Commencing push.
It's QNH 1008 and squawk is going to be 2000 because we're on a NATO code because there's nobody else around. Let's get that on TARA, get that on auto, get the engine switch into ignition, and let's start us some engines, shall we? Engine 2.
Civil traffic, EV 37 Whiskey Lima, pushing mark and 2.
As you heard there, there's the EasyJet just ahead, pushing back from stand 2, and we're going to work on getting our left engine started now.
Fails. Masks will drop from above you. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and mouth and breathe normally. Hold the mask in place. With the strap, pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own mask before helping others. And on water, take a life jacket.
One of the coolest things about this aircraft is that the little flicker as the gens change over from the engines. That's so cool, isn't it? Right, so now that the engines are started, we're going to switch back into normal mode on the engine switch. There's nothing else that I need to note down on there for now. We're going to actually find out what holding point we're going to at the end of the runway. We're going to go for Alpha 1. Excuse me, let me write this down. And then we need to carry on the checklist. So, engine mode back to normal, flaps set for takeoff. We're going to go flaps 1 on this takeoff. Or are we? Let's actually just check. Flaps 1 for takeoff on this one. Speed brakes are going to be armed. Then we need to do APU master switch off. So we'll turn that off.
Manchester traffic, shuttle 3 November, climbing flight level 190, inbound Heathrow.
That's out of Manchester, so we don't need to worry about that. Pitch trim set, rudder trim 0, runway turn-offs on, nose light taxi, brake test. Okay, cool. Next thing we need to do actually is turn APU bleed off. I've missed that. My bad. We need to arm the speed brakes. Get rid of that. We're going to put wind shear on as of right now. Liverpool traffic, Air France 7 Charlie Delta, taxiing runway 27. Holding point Alpha 1 via Whiskey Victor Alpha. Parking brake off. I think the guy in front of me will probably taxi very soon. So I'm hoping to kind of beat him out of here. So we're going Whiskey Victor Alpha. Let's just do a quick brake check. Sound. Got the initial altitude set at 4,000 feet, which is exactly where we want it. We're going to go right here on to Victor. We might wait for him, I don't know. He's going to go out after us, actually, so we may as well just get on with it. A little late departing here, actually. Departure time was set for 1:30. It's now 1:41. We're using real time and weather. And now we've got our takeoff checks on here. I'm buzzing to be back in the A3... Well, I was going to say A320. Buzzing to be back in an Airbus, though. I've had a few little hindrances with the 737 of late. A few scruffy flights. I don't think it's always been down to it being the 737, in fairness to it. I think it's just more being the fleshy bit behind the controls. We've got no air traffic control on here at Liverpool, but it's good to at least have a bit of traffic and hear somebody else on the radios. That is EasyJet just off to our left. There he is. Wonder what his call sign was. I wonder if I can see him on Volanta. 37 Whiskey Lima. Couldn't see a username or anything. I think it's just he's just on VATSIM. But now we need to do all of our checks and things. So we get auto brake set to max. Cabin we need to check up here with a good old bing bong. And then we need to do our takeoff config test, which is sorted.
Cabin crew, seats for takeoff.
Don't know why there's trees there on the right hand side. Again, that's something that unfortunately has become an issue after an update to Microsoft Flight Simulator a while ago. I won't be touching Microsoft Flight Simulator, I can't say it, 2024 for a while yet. I've seen a lot of the issues of instability and loads of problems. I've got all the add-ons and things in the world that I could want from Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and I'm enjoying making videos on it still. Why would I change over to it now? You know, there's no point doing it on day one. I'm not going to gain anything from that. Sure, I could get some YouTube clicks and get some views from it, from people being like, wow, I want to see it straight away. It's not worth it for me, unfortunately. I've got Game Pass, so I wouldn't have to pay a load of money for it, but I've got 2020 set up how I want, so that makes me very happy. So we're going to get down here to Alpha 1, then we're going to hold short and do our before takeoff checks. I believe the EasyJet will be behind us somewhere. Liverpool traffic, Air France 7 Charlie Delta, holding short runway 27 at Alpha 1, Liverpool traffic. We're going to hold short for just a second here. We'll be quick for him though, just so we can get our checks done. So initial altitude is set, radar as required, predicted wind shear is on, terrain on ND, we're going to whack that on anyway just so we've got it. Auto brake is set to max, then we've got the rest of the stuff from the takeoff checklist in the middle there. Transponder auto or on, we're going to put that to on. Then we're going to change the TCAS to TARA. ECAM memo is all blue. Landing lights come on. Nose light, strobe light, Liverpool traffic, Air France 7 Charlie Delta departing runway 27. So, landing lights come on. Runway turn-offs come on. Nose light goes to takeoff. We're going to start the clock. This one. We're taxiing on slowly. Where's EasyJet in comparison? Is he not right behind me? Was I holding him up? Yes, I was. Sugar. Let's go. Up to 50%. Ready? One of my favourite noises. I've turned the volume up since last time I did this. Beautiful. Manflex 55, or is that 66? I can't read. SRS runway auto thrust is blue. 100 knots already. V1 and rotate.
Traffic 37 Whiskey Lima holding.
Positive rate, gear up. I love this little A319. It's a little missile.
And traffic 37 Whiskey Lima landing for wait fire.
Didn't get a word of that. I think he was lining up via Still climbing, still following the flight director. Lever goes into climb. Liverpool traffic, Air France 7 Charlie Delta, passing 2,000 feet. After takeoff, checklist, landing gear is up, flaps retracted when we need them to be, packs on, speed brakes disarmed. So we need to disarm the speed brakes. What was that? I don't like that. Check weight, shut up. Just as we get to a waypoint. Very good. Following that flight director. Literally, I'm not going to show you out the window, I'm just going to show you the screen. We're getting to 4,000 feet now, keeping that little yellow square right on where that crosses. It'll dip down now, this green line will start coming down, look. The throttle will come down with it. So I'm chasing that now. Flaps going up, we've passed S speed, and now I'm going to put the autopilot in. Beautiful! Nice little departure that. Okay, so flaps are retracted, nose light comes off, we need to turn that off. Need the landing lights to stay on until 10,000 feet, runway turn-offs come off.
37 Whiskey Lima departing.
Have a good one. I didn't say that to him. Right, you know what point we're at here. We need to look at the departure altitude. So 4,000 feet until Barton, so have a beauty shot or two, everybody. Okay, back up into the cockpit we go, and we've got to be at 4,000 feet at Barton, so what I'm going to do is now put our cruise altitude in at 35,000 feet, tell the aircraft to manage that, but because of the restriction we're going to stay at 4,000 because it's a good boy, it's lined up the climb so it knows that that's coming, and that was a pretty tasty departure. Great conditions, like I say, using live weather. I'm surprised it's not a little bit colder or a little bit frosty. It's actually snowing out there. I've had to close the curtains today because I wanted to show the snow off in the back of shot, but it was that bright it flooded the room with light and you couldn't see a thing, so we're just going to have to leave it as is, unfortunately. Nothing else to do at this stage, I don't think, so it's just the landing lights and seatbelt signs that come off when we get up to cruise altitude, and then we need to prepare for our arrival in a little bit. A mighty amount of cloud about. We're sort of in and out of the cloud constantly here. Just about to reach Barton now though, so the aircraft is going to turn to the right and make a great old racket, so I'll go back outside for you. Oh, they make a good old noise, don't they, those flipping CFMs, man. Well late coming out of standard pressure, I'm afraid, and we're over 10,000 feet now as well, so the landing lights come off and the seatbelt signs can also come off as well, so our passengers can start to linger around. But it's a very, very pretty afternoon here, isn't it? Very, very pretty. Quite a lot of cloud further down, but we get a lovely layer of it underneath us, like a bed of cloud below. It's looking absolutely brilliant. Where's our top of descent going to be then? We've got quite a while until it. I mean, we're not at cruise altitude yet, but I'd still like to know. Let's go down here and have a look, shall we? 244 miles, and then, like I've said, we're going to be heading down into this sort of long left-hander, and then as you go to Odilo and Vassal, we'll get to PO615. The aircraft will just start to go in a straight line. It'll just maintain its heading and altitude, and then we'll curve it round. We'll get to about here, and we'll do a bit of a square turn, and then head to CI25, FF25, and head into Paris-Orly. I don't think there's anybody on controlling the area. Let's have a look in Volanta. We've actually got London Centre on, covering this area, so we might have to listen into ATC as we head down, which would be cool. I'd enjoy that. We've had London Centre on an episode when I went from, was it Glasgow a while ago at night? I heard some really cool ATC then. It was very, very busy, and there was a lot to listen to. So yeah, we'll see if we've got to contact them at any point. We'll go on V-Pilot, and it'll tell us, look, we've got all of these on, loads of ATIS on at the moment. Manchester delivery, we've got Heathrow Tower, even Glasgow, sorry, not Glasgow, Edinburgh Tower as well. Not sure where we find out if we need to contact them or not. I imagine, well, they'll beat me and ask me to contact them if necessary. So we'll continue our climb now. We're at currently 18,500 feet up to our cruising altitude of 35. Oh, that scared the living out of me. Jumping back into the cockpit, that is London Centre. Please contact me 132605. So 132605. 132605. Let's change over and listen.
Lamborn 6 mark departure and 7676.
That's correct.
Ground control, good afternoon, sir. With 581 with you, descending 260, inbound admit.
First control today, the 62 hot whiskey on the ILS trajectory.
I'm going to wait a minute.
So 62 Foxtrot Whiskey London, hello. You can land at your discretion at Birmingham. I've not managed to pick up anything on the ground just yet. Okay, roger, bye-bye. The 60 Foxtrot Whiskey.
London Control, Air France 7 Charlie Delta with you, flight level 270, climbing flight level 350.
Air France 7 Charlie Delta, London, squawk 5245.
Squawk 5245, Air France 7 Charlie Delta.
Seabird 73 Bravo, descend, flight level 150.
5245 was that?
Descend level 150, Seabird 73 Bravo.
5425.
Seabird 577 London.
Oh.
Sharp 109, please unpause.
Oh dear.
Ground control, good afternoon. Orbit 581 with you, descending 260, inbound east
People
north.
jump straight on and I don't know why they do it. Give it a minute when you jump onto a frequency, man.
Station currency again to call sign only.
Orbit 581.
Orbit.
581, London Control, roger.
Just writing this down.
Fly heading 240 degrees.
240 degrees, 581.
2439 mate, London Control, no worries. Fly heading 230 degrees, descend flight level 160, speed 280 knots.
This guy knows what he's doing, as you'd expect.
London Center, Speedbus 577.
Seabird 577 London, hello, LSO 1 hotel arrival for Heathrow, squawk 7536.
LSO 1 hotel arrival for Heathrow and squawk 7536. I missed my top of descent, so please help me.
I will, I just need to see the squawk first. Shuttle 9 Tango descends to altitude 4,000 feet, QNH is 1009.
I'm interested by this saga now.
On pause. Stand by, Air France 7 Charlie Delta, squawk 5245.
5245, apologies there, France 7 Charlie Delta.
And Seabird 81 Kilo Foxtrot, that's flying time, flight level 380.
There's me moaning about other people and I get my squawk code wrong. Ah! I hope I've taken the time in editing to subtitle all of this for you, because there's going to be some great stuff to listen to. So he's controlling this whole area, other than...
Centre, good afternoon. EG59 Romeo Lima, stand 103, Airbus A319, first clearance to Innsbruck.
C59 Romeo Lima, cleared Innsbruck, M41 Mike departure, squawk 1070.
Wow, he's doing clearances as well. Tight Chibas, we are now friends. I respect what these guys do so much, you have no idea. Amazing stuff. Let's go back into the cabin, shall we, while we cruise and listen.
D-line 5 Whiskey Bravo, descend flight level 80.
Down to 80,
Seabird 4903 Mike, descend flight level 80.
Descend flight level 80, Spirit 439 Mike.
Shuttle 3 November, turn right turning 240 degrees. When established on the localizer, runway 27 right, descend on the right path.
Right, 240, when established on the localizer, descend on the glide, Shell 3 November.
Shamrock 109, turn left turning 080 degrees, descend flight level 80.
Turning left 080 degrees, descending 8,000 feet. Shamrock 109.
London Control, KLM 163, flight level 240.
KLM 163, London Control, climb flight level 320.
1320, KLM 163.
Orbit 8581, you're cleared, Lavno 1 Juliet transition. Resume on navigation direct to Ravsa and descend flight level 120.
Cleared last 1 Juliet transition, descend 10, and can you confirm the direct for 581?
Orbit 581 is direct to Ravsa.
Direct Ravsa 581.
Nord 5371 at Unicom, bye-bye.
Radar EG59 Romeo Lima, split current was connected to your Philadelphia for boost instruction.
Say again the call sign only.
EG59 Romeo Lima.
EG59 Romeo Lima, stand 103, pushing start approved.
Push start approved, facing west.
It will be to the east from 103. Nord 5371 at Unicom. Good 850 Tango London, hello, climb now, flight level 150. Shuttle 9 Tango, turn right turning 240 degrees. When established on the localizer, runway 27 left, descend on the glide path.
Right heading 240, confirm 27 left, status 27 right, shuttle man second.
Sorry,
London Control, viewing 24 November, with you at 350, flight level 350.
Shuttle 9 Tango, it's runway 27 right.
That's good. What's established, start the local D-glide, 27 right, shuttle man second.
Seabird 439 Mike, turn right turning 285.
Turn right heading 285 to 439 Mike.
Seabird 73 Bravo, descend flight level 120.
Descend level 120, Seabird 73 Bravo.
Easy 757 Echo, monitor Unicom 122.8, bye-bye.
Hello, 023 Kilo, stand 31 Captain Bravo, 5 flash to Kingston.
Seabird 23 Kilo London, ascend your PDC short line.
I hope you've been enjoying all the ATC. It's amazing the difference in quality of microphones and all of the actual communication quality from people as well. But you know what? I love doing this. Absolutely love doing this. We're at flight level 350 now, so we'll get ready for our top of descent in a little bit. 2 steep path ahead.
Speedbird 850 Tango, monitor Unicom.
He's very quiet.
Easy 165 Yankee, same for you, monitor Unicom.
He'll probably hand me off and all in a minute. Let's take this time to check what altitude we're going to be getting down to. Flight level 100 at Dilo. It knows the restrictions are in there. Not sure what else there is to set up to there. It's just a case of checking now the information on here and then putting it in on here. So when we get to the landing phase, we've got these, the winds, the temp, the QNH. Let's check the minimums, shall we? Minimums are 487. Barrow minimums 487. 1013 on the QNH. We may as well put it in now. The temperature is 5 degrees. Turning left. The winds are 270 at 12. Okay, that's all in. Yes, the aircraft thinks there's too steep a path between this point and this point, but we're going to go way out here and then swoop back around to bring the altitude down.
Heading 340, descending 4,000 feet, QNH 1009, Shamrock 1090.
Flipping heck, remove that microphone about 15 feet away from your mouth. I don't know why people have the microphones here like this.
Left heading 270 and down to 8,000 feet and speed 220 knots for speedbird 574.
Speedbird 73 Bravo, descend altitude 4,000 feet to QNH 1009. Air France 7 Charlie Delta, you to good morning, Telecom 122.8, bye.
Over to 122.8, thanks very much, Air France 7 Charlie Delta.
E-line 5 Whiskey Bravo,
off we go.
30.
Changing radio frequency, continuing on in the cruise, and I'll give you some more beauty shots. I don't know who or what gave it the hurry up there, but it certainly wanted to get moving. We're getting to the top of descent now, by the way, so we need to crack on and get this 3,000 feet altitude in. Let's get descending. Flipping heck, I'd nearly missed that. Let's go back in the cabin and let's have a listen. It doesn't make as bassy a noise as the 737 CFMs, but that's fine. We're now on our way down into Francais. We're floating just above the profile. We need to be really have that green dot there. So I'm going to put a little bit of speed brake in. See if we can reduce the speed slightly, just to catch up with that profile. Profile's getting further away. Oh no, we're descending quicker now, sorry. So we're going to be going down to the constraint at flight level 130. More drag, it says. I've got plenty. We've got loads of time to descend anyway, because we're going to be going in quite the long straight line before we turn left onto the centre fix for the runway, so it'll be sound. There you go, we're catching back up with profile now, so whack those speed brakes out and we'll remain on profile. Well, nearer profile than we were. I've just noticed something as well. Just look at this. We have a 97, it was 99 a minute ago, 97 knot crosswind, sort of tailwind coming from behind. So the aircraft's sort of going to the left, but we're pointing right. We're sort of drifting this way. It's absolutely mad. That's a huge amount. I've never seen anything like that. But yeah, as mentioned at the start of the video then, so this is Golf Romeo Hotel Bravo. It's one of 87 aircraft I have listed as mine in Volanta, and that's without bringing in the 75s and the 777s that I want to eventually fly as well. I want to go through a series now where I fly every aircraft once, when it's not a charter flight that someone else has decided to obviously charter for me. It is just going to be one flight in every one of them to make sure I've at least flown all of them once. And I hope to do all of that on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 as well before I get into 2024. We'll have to see. It may happen on 2024, but I'm not sure yet when I'm going to be getting it or when I'm going to be doing any flying on it. We're above profile here by a little bit, so we need to add a little bit more drag in. I'm going to bring some speed brakes in. We brought them down to half here, as you can see. Speed error at CI25. What's the speed error at CI25? 196. Yeah, 3 degrees. Down to 163. then 124. Is that our V speed? Our VAT? 123. Wow, that's slow. We've added a bit more drag in now so the aircraft can reduce the speed. It can point the nose down a bit more and we can start catching up with that profile. I'll just manage the descent from here. Really catching up with the profile now, which is good. Now we've got them air brakes in. I'm going to leave them in for a little bit because we need to get down to that restriction there, which is 280 knots. We are still overspeeding that quite a bit, so I'm hoping that the aircraft will catch back up. I think we went above profile because the aircraft was sort of focusing on dropping the speed first, so it was staying shallow to make sure we could drop the speed, and now it's got to the speed it can drop the nose down. It sort of balances doing one then the other. So we're going to be making a left turn any second now. We've still got a 49 knot crosswind. That's going to become pretty much a bang on tailwind as we head in this direction now. So we're making our left turn. It's at this point as well, a little bit early maybe, that I want to decide where we're going to park at Paris Orly. Coming in on runway 25, a lot of Air France tends to park along here, but these are the sort of heavier gates, so I'm thinking, do we go to one of the smaller ones? Do we go down here? Do we go to C, apron C? A lot of this is red, as if you can't taxi there, so I'm not quite sure where we can go from there. Let's go to one of these. Let's go to uniform 5. I'm going to write that in here on my little scratch pad list. UO5. Hello! Yes, I know the speed brakes are still out. There they go. So what heading will we want after we get to PO615? What heading will that be? It's just, oh god, it's just less than 090, isn't it? That's like 085. We'll find out. I'm going to write it down on here, that's all. You can download this scratch pad as well, by the way, in the description. It's just a PDF. I don't want anyone messing with my spreadsheets because I made it as a spreadsheet. But you can download this for your VATSIM use. It just fills in some of the info, and it's nice to keep a track of them. I've actually got a folder on here. You're going to all think I'm a right nerd now. I've got a folder on here with all my flight plans and stuff that I've ever done, just so I can recall on information from certain airports previously and just look at stuff when I need to. And that's, you know, I'm a real hoarder with information like that, so I like the sentiment of keeping that. I'm not just going to be done with this and scrunch it up and throw it in the bin, you know. I like to make sure that I keep stuff like that because it's, I don't know, it's just something to reflect on. There's a few notes where I've messed up something and I've written something funny down, you know. It's great to look back on. As you can see ahead, we're heading into a lot of cloud and some very hefty weather. We'll keep an eye on the iPad down here and just make sure that we refresh this. 260 at 11, 260 at 11, so the winds have changed slightly. Has the temperature changed at all? 5/1, and the QNH is still 1013, so the rest of that is the same. So we're in a restriction right now at 13,000 feet. We need to be at 13,000 at CAD, and then we're going to go below and then to 11,000 feet at the next waypoint after that. Let's just make that map a little bit bigger. We're going to go to plan and just look at our next waypoints on here actually. So 11,000, 11,000, yeah, PO615. So it thinks that we're going to go directly CI25, but we're just going to keep going that way basically. We're going to keep going until we get past it and then swoop left. We're going to go 000 on the heading, and then we're going to tell it direct to CI25. Turning now, so we're going to avoid a lot of that weather by the look of it. There's, oh, what? As I say that, the weather changes. Okay. I'm really glad that I've been able to stay connected to vPilot as well, actually, and not been kicked off VATSIM. I don't know what the problem was with the models that I had previously. I just deleted the whole folder of old models and then went from there. Aircraft will be leveling out now, and then we're going to start our descent, I was just about to say. Below 13,000 feet. Just looking at the live traffic for Paris Orly, looking at the arrivals, we've got a few around us actually, a few after us as well. Ruling 26 Victor, where are they? Oh, they're at Heathrow. Oh yeah, that's theirs. So where are they now? Oh, he's ahead of me. So let's go back to Orly. I didn't know you could do this. So you get to look at live traffic. Loads of people coming in. Bunch of departures as well. It's quite busy actually. I didn't realise it was going to be that busy. There's no idea of sort of when people will be in. There's a departure just going out now. Oh, they're coming in on that runway. Runway 24 by the look of it. You can see, look, he's on a similar path, so he's done what I've done. I'm going to go out this way and then go around this way for CI25. Just getting to Vagol now. We're going to turn right after this, and then we're going to be on course to stay in a straight line. Vassal? Sorry, I thought Vagol. Apologies. So wherever our heading is now is going to remain our heading for a while. I'm going to write it down on my scratch pad, and then we're going to sort of gradually make some vectors left and around and get to CI25. We're at 11,000 feet at present anyway, so we don't need to worry about the landing lights or passenger seatbelt signs just yet. But obviously when we get below 10,000, then we're going to whack them on. Okay, so making that right-hand turn now, and it's 080 is going to be the heading. So I'm going to pop that on here. We're going to have a bit of a tailwind again, so I'm going to put heading 080, just so I note down what the heading is from there, because I will fly back to Paris Orly. It's an airport I go to quite a lot actually, so I know them for next time. I am going to do a quick call up on Unicom just to check and just let everyone know that we're on the Bob's 9 Whiskey arrival. Paris Orly traffic, Air France 7 Charlie Delta inbound on the Bob's 9 Whiskey arrival for runway 25, Paris Orly traffic. A lot of cloud about. We're about to fly through this big chunk of it. This will look pretty actually from on board. Right, did look cool, didn't it? Look at this. I love it when you're in cloud like this, when there's loads of layers to it. It's like being in a sort of skyscraper skyline of loads of different cloud, and you don't know how thick it is until you fly through it. It's really cool. You can suddenly see scenery below you and then boom, it's gone again. It's really cool. So Paris Orly is just over to our left hand side. It's just over there. CI25 is there. So that is our airport that we're going to be arriving at. That is runway 25. Runway 24 is over there somewhere. So we're going to carry on in this direction, heading 080. We're just about to get to this point actually, so watch this. So we get to this, the aircraft will go dip dip dip, and the heading thing will light up here with 080 or 081, or whichever we're pointing at actually. Got into quite a hefty descent. It wants more drag, but we're going to be alright. Oh, I just lobbed the nose down all of a sudden. Right, don't you worry aircraft, we're going to go this way. We're going to go 077 and we're going to bring the speed down to 220. We have told it 3,000 feet. We're in open descent at the moment. Going to put the landing lights on and the seatbelt signs on. We're going to continue descending now. There's a big old tailwind as well, 30 knots against us from the back. We're going to stay in this direction until we pass CI25, then make a left turn to heading 000 or 360, and then we will head on to direct to CI25.
Safely stowed with your laptop inside. Your tray table must be stowed, armrests down and window blinds open. You now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened, ready for landing. Please help us by handing in any rubbish, newspapers or magazines that you do not want to keep. The toilets are no longer in service. Thank you.
So we're apparently above profile.
Hi, Captain. The cabin is now secure for landing.
Thank you very much. We're above profile. We're going to put 1 notch of flaps in because we can bring flaps 1 in now. Well, we've told it 220 knots, but it'll help it lose altitude with the speed. And then once CI25 is pretty much level with that yellow line there, then we'll turn onto it. We're still going to be able to lose enough height. It should be absolutely sound. Okay, so we've gone past CI25 by quite a bit here. It's gone off the screen there. So we're now going to pull to go heading 000. We're going to go perfectly north. The aircraft is going to help us with that. We're at 6,500 feet. Then we're going to carry on north and then tell it direct CI25. So we're going to click direct and then CI25. Then the aircraft will take over with everything. We'll tell it the altitude. We'll just bit the altitude in there. We'll tell the aircraft this is yours now, and also get the aircraft to manage the speed. We've just got to vector this part of the flight. Paris Orly traffic, Air France 7 Charlie Delta, entering final runway 25. Paris Orly traffic. We're going to go into standard pressure, which is 1013 here. Someone just said that they were passing Mulber. Where's Mulber? Well, I don't know where they're going to be. Either way, 4,200 feet now. Getting closer and closer. I tell the aircraft to slow down to 200 knots. Is that the next notch of flaps? No, it's at 200 is the next notch. So we'll go 190. Put landing system on, get that ready. And now we'll go DIR, CI25. No, CI25. Tell the aircraft to manage the height. Tell the aircraft to manage the speed. Flaps 2 coming in. Gonna click approach, Cat 3 single, it's already picked it up. Beautiful. Paris Orly traffic, Air France 7 Charlie Delta, lining up to enter final for runway 25. Paris Orly traffic, 20 miles out. No aircraft that we can see. There's an aircraft there, so I think they're coming in behind us. And then we can finally get this puppy sorted out. So let me get the checklist out. I'm a lot less worried about it in the Airbus compared to the 737. I don't know why. Right, auto brakes is required. We're going to get auto brakes on low. We're going to get the flaps set very shortly. Speed brakes will be armed. Let's do it now, may as well. Landing gear, then ECAM memo. That is it. There is runway in sight, everybody. No, that's not runway in sight. I think that's runway in sight. We need to line up with it. That's the other one. That's runway 24.
Charles de Gaulle traffic, Europa 838, out of stand Charlie 8, will be pushing back shortly facing east. Charles de Gaulle traffic.
Okay, next notch of flaps coming in, gear coming down. Let's get on with it, shall we?
Orly traffic, easy 109 establishing runway 25.
He's getting a bit close to me. I need to speed up, don't I? What's his call sign? He's behind me. What's his call sign? Oh, that's reporting me. Easy 109er. Easy 109er, say speed.
220, easy 09er.
Roger, I'm already at 139er at the moment, just ahead of you. I'm not sure how this one's going to work.
Easy 109er.
This is Air France 7 Charlie Delta. I'm already at 139er knots, just ahead of you here, just getting to CI25. 139er knots. Paris Orly traffic, Air France 7 Charlie Delta, runway 25, 12 miles to run. Well, tried to tell him. I don't know what he's going to do about it. But he's behind me. And he ain't far. Doing 220 knots at the moment. We're landing there. Runway in sight. See what I mean? That's not even runway 24 either. That's not even at Paris Orly. I'm not quite sure what flipping runway that is, but it's not the one we're landing on. Still a headwind here of 26 knots. Admittedly, I did slow the aircraft down quite quickly, so that's on me. The aircraft has caught the localizer now. We're going to be floating in for some time here.
Orly traffic, easy 109er on the left.
Look at this. This is great, isn't it? This looks beautiful. Yeah, runway 24 is that way. It's over there, so yeah, I'm not quite sure what airport that is, but it's definitely not Orly. He's very close behind me and catching up very quickly. Oh my days, he's there. Wow. Okay. I don't think he's got TCAS turned on. Yeah, look. He's right behind. He's 500, now 600 feet above. I think he's going around. I'd hope he was, because he's well too close. Look at that. Like, it's funny if me and Dan do that, but not this. I get that I've slowed down early, but Jesus. Okay, we're getting up to 5 miles to go. Orly traffic, Air France 7 Charlie Delta, 5 miles to run, runway 25, Orly traffic. Just going to ignore him. at this point. There's no point saying anything about it or doing anything about it on frequency. If he wants to be there, fair enough.
Early traffic, easy 109 on final and runway 25.
Okay, luckily that sort of crosswind that we had before is now disappearing. We've got auto brakes on low, so we're going to let it roll. I'm going to get ready to take the autopilot out pretty soon. Got my hands ready on the throttles. Once we land and get on the ground, we need to disarm the speed brakes, put the engine mode back into normal, flaps retract, TCAS into standby, and then get the APU on. Okay, so autopilot coming out. My aircraft, everyone. It's good to be back in the Airbus. It's dipping the nose down a bit. I've kept the auto throttle in, I'm just ready to pull it back when we hit the ground. A little bit low. A little bit low there, we're dropping. Still 2 white, 2 red on Pappies. Still 2 white, 2 red. It's very stable actually, it's pretty much a direct headwind at this point. It says it's 16 knots. A little bit over to the right, I'd say. Dropping slightly.
Minimum.
Continue.
Light slope.
Yep.
Light
fine.
slope.
Yes, I know.
Light
4 red on the Pappies.
Light slope. Light slope.
Alright, we're shallowing it out, mate. We're getting there.
40, 30, 20, retard, 10, 5.
Oh, suddenly it wanted to turn right there. Let the auto brakes do their thing. I can't believe that Easy has landed behind me at that distance. We're going to take the next exit off to the right. I'm going to release the parking brakes. Well, not release the brakes, release the speed brakes. I'm going to put the speed brakes back up and let it roll. Let's check what taxiway we're at. Orly traffic, Air France 7 Charlie Delta, vacating runway 25 at Whiskey 35. Is it Whiskey 35 or Whiskey 3 Sierra? Whiskey 35. Okay, we are vacated. Good stuff. Let's come to a stop over here, shall we? It's so hard to be smooth on the brakes when you've got it set to a button. Okay, coming to a stop. Let's check everything. So let's clean the flaps up, shall we? That comes up first. Let's get the APU on. Let's get the master switch. And then start not long after. We then need to have the TCAS back to standby.
Charles de Gaulle traffic.
TA.
Europa 838 out of
off.
stand Charlie 8.
Landing lights off, taxi
Taxiing
lights
to
on.
runway 26 right via
Runway turn offs
Tango
off.
Alpha 3 Romeo.
Cool. Okay, so we need to
And
figure
then,
out
Tango
what stand
Niner.
we're going
We're
to.
going to do the short runway today. Charles de Gaulle traffic.
Uniform 05, thanks for telling your life story, mate. So we need to go via, and I'm going to write this down actually. So we're on Whiskey 35, which is where we vacated. Love to have known where that EasyJet behind me vacated as well. Vacated runway 25 at Whiskey 35. This pen stops working every time I leave it alone. So we're going to be going via Whiskey 36, then Whiskey 1, Whiskey 2, Whiskey 3. Parking brake coming off. Taxiing. Orly traffic, Air France 7 Charlie Delta, taxiing stand Uniform 05 via Whiskey. Well, I enjoyed that little flight. No major dramas until the end there, to be honest with you. Some good ATC along the way. It's always worth being on VATSIM for these things. I don't see any reason not to be on VATSIM, to be honest with you, anymore for any of my flights. I want to be on it for all of them. I used to only do it when I could see there was ATC on in the area, but at the moment now I just tend to jump on regardless whether there's anything on there or not. And it's great to be back in not just the A319, which I absolutely adore, but also the Fenix Airbus as well. The Airbus just seems so much more user-friendly than anything Boeing. The 7.3, I don't know, it's a little bit more hands-on, it's a little bit more rough and ready to fly, and I quite like that about it. So we're going to come around here then, on Whiskey 2. We need to actually get GSX to prepare for us at stand uniform 5 as well. Gate uniform 5. So it's over there somewhere. It's around here. Whiskey should be there. Yep, that's Whiskey 3. Taxiing a little bit quickly at the moment. And then stand uniform 5 is over on the right. So I'm just going to raise the view up a little bit. Here it is. Uniform 05. So we turn the taxi light off so we don't blind the poor operative. Wow, a rainbow! Shouldn't notice rainbows as I come in to the stand. It does have auto gate by the look of it. Have I got the right gate? Yeah, they have just spawned in. Hello. There are the numbers. They're coming down very quickly, so I'm just going to dab the brakes a little bit. Right, pretty much on the centre line. Oh no, why has it stopped working? Why did it stop working? Oh, GSX, you pig. Well, you've given me an easy ride there, GSX. Look at that. Beautiful. Right then, let's do our shutdown, shall we? So, we need to make sure that the parking brake is on, which it is. Nose light is off. We've done that already. Runway turn-offs off. APU bleed comes on, and then we switch the engines off. So APU bleed, let's whack that on, and then we will turn the engines off one after the other. They are some very, very good noises. After that then, seatbelt signs, beacon and fuel pumps come off. So we turn the seatbelt signs off, and then the beacon light will come off, and the fuel pumps after that. And then we are all good. And welcome to Paris Orly, everybody. It is requested deboarding. I'm going to get the jetway out on here as well. You do that by going into the ATC at Paris Orly. Ground services, and then you say jetway connection. Not quite sure why you have to do it that way here at Orly, but you do. Still, it's part of the fun. And that rounds out a really enjoyable afternoon flight here on VATSIM to Paris Orly from Liverpool. I really hope you've enjoyed this video, everyone. Like I say, I'm going to be going through the whole list of all of those 87 aircraft on my Volanta profile that I will be flying at least once to somewhere. They may not always be real-world ops, but it's to or from an airport where I figured that that aircraft would operate from anyway. But I hope you thoroughly enjoyed this as much as I do, and I hope you look forward to seeing the next episode, because I will see you then.